Hello and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included, episode 5. In our last episode, we finished out building all of the algae terrariums and getting them supplied with water. Here we're going to resupply them with water, and we're also going to work on setting up our airlocks. For those of you who have not set up airlocks before, they're pretty simple to do. I'm going to do it twice here. Bottle emptiers on either side, just like this. And then we are going to build tile. We will make this out of granite so it looks a little bit nice. We'll have it go down one further, but for now I'll just keep this like this. And we're going to fill up basically this with water. And our dupes, when they want to go through, they will walk through the water and then into whatever this sort of area we don't want the gas coming in, whatever area that is. Shine bugs came up here. That's not so hot for us. We wanted them to stay down here with the algae, but this is fine. So, putting in another layer of water on our algae terrariums, getting them all nice and happy. All right, and one more bottle emptier here, and we're going to set these to auto bottle. Enable auto bottle. Yep. And we're just going to pump water into here. And once we have water in here, it'll form a seal with the last piece that we're going to put down. And that'll give us our airlock. And then we'll be able to venture out into these areas. Start digging out stuff. Mainly, again, the reason we're venturing out over here is that we want to get all this chlorine down here. We might even link up with this now that I see this. That would probably take a little bit of work, but is doable. These need to be... Ooh, this requires emptying. We do have to worry about that, don't we? Did we put this too much water in? Maybe. They do want a place for the water to go. Alright. We'll let the duplicates take care of that. In the meantime, let's focus on getting these airlocks up and running. This is a lot of water. But that's fine. We will enable auto bottle here as well. And we do need to specify water. Likewise here, enable auto bottle, water, and down here we will enable auto bottle, water. Alright, we are all set. So now, we're pretty much good to go on our airlocks. We will need to build one more tile here. But once we have enough water here, our research is done, let's start working towards... Let's get brute force refinement, and then we'll start working towards temperature management. We will need to fill up so that we have something on this tile here. We're almost there. Let's get another granite tile. Each of these. Should be good to go. How are we coming along in jobs? Frankie's almost done as a gopher. And we will assign her to other work. Everyone else is pretty far away from getting somewhere. Alright. So more or less this is done. I think actually we might be able to get away with just this. Let's disable these auto bottles and see where we're at. This needs a little bit of time to settle. Yeah, this will also make it so that they're starting to work with water up here. These algae terrariums need a little bit less liquid water here. put a little bit too much water in. That's fine. Alright, so we have all of that finished. I want this uprooted. We also want to start building out here. This will build out a little bit too much if we do it. Let's do this for now. Start getting actual bedrooms with tile and whatnot. Yeah, we have a little bit too much water in here. That is a bit of a problem. These algae terrariums, we're not able to use the rest of the water. Okay, so let's disable auto bottle on these. They'll pour out their current contents. We need a little bit more here. And what else do we need done? We're doing fairly well on food right now because we're still only at 4 dupes. I think we really just want to sort out the algae terrarium issue that we have here. I have just too much water. Kind of flooded them. Well, this might be a good time to set up another water pool, because we are going to need some water for our bathrooms, which is going to be a little bit of an issue. I do think we want to set up our bathrooms up here. I think that's a pretty good place for us to set them up, which means we want to kind of just dig in right here. Which means we want some sort of pool above that to draw from, I think. And then we'll just pump it out to some location over here. So, morale's pretty bad. We do want to get this set up, but I think we want this a little bit more. Alright. So, let's start digging out this area. Let's set up some granite tile. Eventually there. Let's not do it for now. And we're going to want to set up basically a water pool, I think right around here. It actually doesn't have to be that large, does it? Doesn't have to be that large. Okay. Yeah, so let's set up some temporary tile. And we're basically going to deconstruct this, and we're going to build up our water basin right here. And we're ultimately going to use that to supply the restrooms that we're going to create. And that's what we'll do with this extra water. Doing fine on oxygen. Need a little bit more here. Get all this cleared out. Perfect. Get some nice granite down. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And basically what we're going to do is we're just going to deconstruct this tile, let this area fill up with water, and use that to supply our restrooms when we get them open and running, which we're going to set up right here, I believe. So yeah, this is going to be right here. I like it. We will make this out of, I guess igneous rock will work. And it does not need to be that large, but we'll need to set up a pump up there beforehand, I believe. How is the auto bottling going? Eventually we'll get that done. We don't really want to venture out here just yet. Yeah, this will work. There's a question of whether or not we want to set it up here, actually. Because then we can have the floor right here, and we could set up a different sort of thing over here. That would work as well, come to think of it. Maybe we want to do that. No, I think we want to make use of this area ultimately. Alright. let's expand this out a little bit more. Dig out more of this. Waiting for them to fill up the airlocks. Harvest their food, do their research. Yeah, alright. So, blank canvas is going to take metal ore and fiber. So we're a ways away from that. We do want a decor item though. Something to improve. Something to improve the decor of our Great Hall. Sculpting block will be fine for now, I think. We'll make it out of granite. Yeah. I think for now we're just going to stick one here. Stick one here. We don't have anybody with any art skills, the main issue that we face. So we might need to destroy and rebuild some of these sculpting blocks quite a few times before we can really get there. But once this Great Hall is built, the stress will fall down really fast. Because that's really the only reason why these guys are at the position that they're at. They just are not happy with the way things are with the stress of their jobs. Let's start working towards temperature modulation. Well, actually, yeah, I think we go for temperature modulation. There's nothing else we don't need improved plumbing for our restrooms quite yet. So I think we're good on that. No artists at the moment. Decor is currently +6. Frankie could try and become an artist for a bit. No one is good at it, but Frankie, I think you might as well give it a shot. Start training you up. It's not like you have any other really great skills, which is kind of why we made you a gopher in the first place. Ooh, and while we're at it, let's just build out the rest of this. And I think this ought to be a large enough size for our reservoir. We don't need to really do much with it at the moment. So we're still a ways away from being able to build our bathrooms, but ultimately we're going to get all the water up to here, and a little area right here, and we should be good to go then. Might need to do some temporary things just to get the water over here if we want to, but I think we're kind of good for now. So, I don't think I want to set it up as liquid reservoirs either quite yet, because this is just going to be the clean water supply. Normally with my bathrooms I like to set up an output liquid reservoir and put it in some place with a lot of chlorine and disinfect it. That helps a lot, I think, because eventually you send it back to a water sieve and get that process going of having your infinite looping bathroom. But I like for the time being just keeping it on and I think it's time to build this. Keeping it on sort of a one-way loop and just storing up polluted water with germs that'll be disinfected at some point. We have enough water up here to sustain a bathroom for a while. This is starting to slowly become an issue. We eventually need to get this done. So we are running out of room for doing stuff. They're collecting some igneous rock. And we are going to get a little bit more igneous rock in there. And eventually we're just going to deconstruct this, fill up this area. We do want a liquid pump first. think we'll set it up right here. We want some power to go to the pump. So we'll run some power down here. And we are going to want some liquid pipe. Might as well make this out of sandstone. We don't particularly care. We could have made this out of sandstone too as well. But it's possible we end up putting more like hot water back in here. Alright, so getting all that done, and then we're just going to let this drain out into our new reservoir area. And then we'll get a lot of polluted oxygen generating. New duplicants available. Someone with diver's lungs. None of you have diver's lungs, so I'm rejecting you all. This is very unfair to them. Some of them are decent. They tried. I mean, I don't know. 4 athletics, 1 learning, with some other random, maybe useful abilities. That's not bad. Though this guy just isn't even trying. I guess mouth breather and bottomless stomach. Gourmet. I changed my mind. I don't like any of these people anyways. We're not missing out on anything. Get out of here. Back to genetic goo you go. Alright. So, research complete. Perfect. Jobs mastered. That was just from Frankie being mastered. We are working towards temperature modulation. Perfect. And I still want them to fill up these airlocks. This is still set to auto bottle water, right? Yep, perfect. Okay. Get this pump done. Alright, and let's deconstruct this. And let these algae terrariums drop their polluted water. I suppose we might as well start setting up how our bathrooms are going to look. While we're at it. Do we have enough now? Nope, not quite. We basically just barely have enough here. We'll let them put a little bit more in. This does sort of work against us in terms of the diffusion of oxygen to have it right here, but we can also just get it all over here eventually. Yeah, I think we just want to dig out the rest of this now. Get to it, Stinky. Slowly emptying out this water. Alright. Now I think we just want to take all this, replace it with granite tile. And how wide is this area? This is 16, so this will be enough. We're just going to get granite tile up here as well, and then we'll just close this off. Perfect. Okay, was this enough? What is your decor? Abstract sculpture, crude. Mediocre sculpture. Yeah, these aren't good enough. Try again. Do it till you do it right, Frankie. I don't want these garbage sculptures here. What are you thinking? What are you thinking, Franks? This isn't how we roll. These little hearts and moons. No. We want masterpieces. Masterpieces, Frankie. Back to the drawing board with you. Once we get fiber, this will be a little bit easier for her. We can just have her do paintings. But for now, we want to get this online. Stress is starting to rise, starting to become a little bit of a concern. We do need them to get the stress down. Otherwise, I'll need to resort to some other tactic, which is a little bit less appealing. Alright, so we are building out what is going to be our bathroom area here. Might as well get our copper door in. Tile, more granite, please. And then we'll get out of this situation over here. In fact, while we're at it, though, one more outhouse couldn't hurt, right? Couldn't hurt to have one more outhouse down here. Okay, how is this coming along? You haven't deposited any more water. I want a little bit more water in here. It's not super important, but just so that when the dupes come in here and display some water, we don't maybe get some situation where somehow there isn't an airlock. You can stay open. Thank you. Okay, so this will be the wall right here. So like this, and then dig out this area. Looking good. All right. Pretty solid. I do want this to be built sooner rather than later. This only has one visit remaining. Yeah, okay. I don't want more polluted dirt if I can avoid it. If I can avoid it. Let's avoid it. And this is going to be our large bathroom right here. I don't think we're setting up an airlock to go anywhere here. Kind of as a result of how we're doing things. We do want to get our oxygen production back online eventually. I mean, we still have a good amount of it. Mainly we want to get the stress down, which means building these things sooner. Out of order. Let's crank this up to 7 as well. Be at a 6. Alright, perfect. Alright, Frankie, take 2. You get this done. We all go home. Everybody's stress goes way down. All you gotta do is get this right. Give me the masterpiece, Frankie. Give me your best effort. Show me your art, Frankie. While we're at it, I guess we might as well crank up her art a little bit. Just so we get it done sooner rather than later. Start working, Frankie. Start practicing. Because we are running up against a little bit of a time crunch on getting this stress down. It's not huge, but again, rather sooner than later. How close are we? Temperature modulation, pretty good. We will then work on... Do we really need advanced plumbing is a question. I don't think we do. Yeah, maybe we just set up our bathrooms right now. Because I don't think we need insulated pipe for any of this, and I don't need liquid reservoir yet. I guess eventually I will, because I do want to pump this somewhere. Maybe we should set up an airlock, like right out here. Alright, Frankie. Do or die, girl. It was a good effort. We're gonna take it down and destroy it, but you know. And while we're at it, you know what? Let's just also have you get a couple more practice structures up here. Couldn't hurt, couldn't hurt. Alright. I think that's going to do it for this episode. Getting the bathroom set up so that we have that infinite loop of water generating, getting off of this latrine system. Still doing great on farms. We've got 26,000 calories. We're staying steady on that. Trying to get this Great Hall online, that way our stress will go down. Frankie just needs to pull off the sculpture and we'll be there. That's probably going to take a little bit more work, but we're getting there. Keep practicing, girl. And yeah, everything else looking pretty good. Get these algae terrariums back online. We have this airlock up and running. This one will get up and running too. And then we'll be able to start digging things out, start building out the rest of our base. I like it. Alright, I'm going to cut things here and see you in the next episode.